There's a male sex worker who is saying that he is a prime example of what the federal prosecutors have been saying about Diddy, because he describes an encounter with Diddy in New York City that is textbook from what is in the indictment against Diddy. Now, this person has filed a lawsuit against Diddy as a John Doe, but when you hear the details, it does sound exactly like the stuff that prosecutors are alleging in this indictment. The sex worker says that he was contacted by Diddy, said that they were going to meet at a hotel in New York City, and he showed up there, and Diddy was there with a girlfriend. Doesn't name the girlfriend, but says that that immediately they, got naked. And that Diddy forced the sex worker perform a sex act on his girlfriend for several hours. And then he brings up something we've heard in other lawsuits, that is baby oil, feeling like you were drugged. And then he alleges that that Diddy then sodomized him. Some of that stuff we've heard in other lawsuits. The twist here is something that he said occurred during the sexual assault, something that Diddy said to him that references another really notorious thing that Diddy, his name is attached to, but he has never been accused of this. But in this lawsuit, the male sex worker says that Diddy said to him, if I can get Pac, as in Tupac, hit, what the blank do you think can happen to you?
Like, don't say anything.
Right. It was a threat of keep your mouth shut about this, otherwise I'm going to do to you what I did to Tupac.
Well, guys, needless to say, Diddy's team is absolutely denying this. They're saying that no matter how many lawsuits are filed against Diddy, they're still maintaining their innocence, saying that he did not sexually assault anyone. I mean, it just feels somewhat, with the exception of the Tupac bit here, it feels like deja vu all over again. Since he was indicted, I mean, it just feels like every week we see some type of lawsuit from a Jane Doe or a John Doe alleging, sexual assault, among other things. And I'm just curious when it's finally going to come to an end, if it even does.
If it does, exactly. Because remember, all of these lawsuits, Diddy and his team, they're not going to deal with any of this until after they're done dealing with the federal
lawsuits,
case.
money. Diddy's life his freedom is on the line now, right?
But what they could come together here, because what we've learned is that the individual who's filed this lawsuit is willing, if the feds want to sit down with him, is willing to testify. He actually wants to talk to prosecutors because they feel that they are a prime example of what the feds have alleged, and so therefore...
And I'm sure the feds will take them up on that, Charles. I mean, this is alleged to have happened around 2012 time. I would think that the feds would absolutely want to sit down with this John Doe.
Yeah, at the very least, to have the conversation, get the information, whether or not they actually becoming a testifying, witness. Who knows? But
building a case is obviously more complicated, but I'd love to hear him out.
Hey, my name is Nikki. I am from Chicago, and this is one of those stories that really makes you wonder if we're living in some twisted movie script. Accusations like these are obviously horrific, but bringing someone up like you're channeling Tupac is just on another level. I mean, who even thinks that's a good idea? Nothing surprises me anymore, but that is just absolutely wild.
Yeah, again, the allegations are always wild here, and we always have to stress that these are allegations being made by an individual. Diddy has denied it, and we will eventually, months down the road, see how all these play out. Okay, moving on now to...